To create an array, you only need to know a few things. You need to know what kind of data you're going to store and how much space you're going to need. So for example, let's say we wanted to create an array of floats. So float, give the array a title. So currency array. So let's say we're saving our bank currency or something like that. Now if you see these two square brackets, so you notice this one up here, that's an array. This one's an array too. Inside the square brackets, since we're just initializing it, we need to tell the computer how much memory we need. So I can say 3, and then semicolon. And with that, I can access 3 components. Currency array 0, currency array 1, currency array 2. Now it depends on where this is, if I'm setting or I'm getting. So if I say equals 4.35, that's setting that first spot to 4.35. Now for example, I want to do a printf. I'm going to do a %f currency array 0. Now if I run this, I created this array of 3 elements. I set the first element, and now I'm going to print it back out. There's 4.35. So let's really focus on this part right here. So this part is the type. You can do floats, characters, ints, whatever you want to store in the array. But let's really focus on this part right over here. Imagine you're renting out space in a hotel. So if you have 3 people, it's pretty easy. You rent out 3 rooms. And throughout the rest of the day, other individuals will start filling up the hotel. Now the array that you allocated was 3. So if you go item 0, you can see what's there. You can put an individual in that room. You own that room. If you look at item 1, it's right there. You can do whatever you want in that room. Room number 2, that's yours also. But if you tried to go, like for example, to room 3, you do not own that. And that's what happens if you try to access something outside of your array limits. Either you're going to get data from somebody else, or the program's going to crash. So when you're allocating this, you might think, well, why don't I just rent out the whole hotel? Well, think to yourself why you wouldn't do that in real life. What we're doing here is we're allocating space on RAM. So RAM is a temporary storage. So it's not like the hard disk where you're actually saving a file. It's just the temporary storage that lets the computer do tasks. So imagine you're going out to Walmart and you need to remember 5 things to buy. You don't necessarily have to write that down in a permanent record. You just got to memorize that in your short-term memory. And computers have the same thing. Now if we wanted to be safe, we could allocate extra space. But imagine if each of those hotel rooms was $100. If you got 3, you'd pay $300. If you got 5, you'd pay $500. If you got all 10, you'd pay $1,000. That's a big expense. With RAM, it's the same way. You want to allocate enough that you're going to use, but you don't want to over-allocate, because over time that'll get expensive and your program will be slow, and you won't be a very good memory citizen because you'll take resources from the computer that other programs would like to use.